Okay, so for our first 30 seconds, all we're gonna do is some hula hoops. So just step one foot slightly in front of the other, and then we're just gonna kind of circle the hips. And then once you feel like you've got a little bit of range of motion going, you can increase the speed or increase the size of your circles. But if it feels like it needs a little bit of warming up, just slow it down, make it a gentler maneuver. And then if you like, switch directions, go the other way. And then just notice how your hips are feeling, notice how your knees are feeling. You might get a little movement down in the ankles, so notice how your ankles are feeling. All right, now switch feet, other foot's gonna step forward, just get that little staggered stance, and then right back to those circles. Circle in one direction. Notice if there's any like clicking or little jaggedy parts that just want a little bit more attention. And reverse your circles, go the other way. And time, nicely done. Okay, step your feet so they're about hip or shoulder distance apart. A light little squat, just a little bend to the knees. Pick one knee up, rotate towards that knee, back to center, set it down, other side. Pick your knee up, rotate towards the knee, back to center, set it down in a light little squat. If picking the knee up, you're like, my balance is not there quite yet, then just pick up the heel, big toe stays on the ground, you rotate towards that knee and back to center. And then once you feel like you've got a rhythm going, you go at your own pace, whatever feels good, but just notice, how's your ankle feel? How's your knees feel here? And how do your hips feel? Already halfway there. And then once you feel like your squat's getting pretty warm, you can sink a little deeper into that squat or hold that twist and balance just a little bit longer. And time, nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna take it into one leg, 30 seconds. You're just gonna pick the knee straight up, big move out to the side, rotate, but try to keep your hips as level as you can, and then pull that knee right back up. Big swing out to the side, rotate, knee turns down, and then you pull that knee back up. Take it nice and slow. You got 5 seconds left on this leg. And set that leg down, take it to the other side. Big pickup of the knee, big swing out to the side, push the heel back, knee drops down, and then pull the knee forward again. Super slow motion maneuver, so we really work through the hip. And time. Awesome job. Okay, take it to the back edge of your mat, and we're going to tippy toe walk ourselves to the front end of the mat. So lift your heels up and just walk yourself forward. And then as you get to the top of the mat, lower your heels, pick up your toes, and heel walk yourself right back to the back edge of your mat. Pick your heels up, tippy toe forward. Lower your heels, pick the toes up, and heel walk it back. Once you've got that maneuver down, rather than looking down at your feet, try to keep your gaze forward, chest lifted, and your shoulders down. We're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. All right, now we're gonna finish at the back edge of your mat. So if you're not there yet, just walk yourself to the back edge of your mat. Take your feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Take a nice big breath, reaching the arms up and overhead. Bend your knees a lot, hinge at your waist, fold down to the ground. Hands are gonna touch down. We're gonna walk it forward into a plank, but we're gonna take our time because once we get there, we're gonna hold that plank for the rest of our minute here. So find your version of plank you like, tall plank or low plank, knees down, totally up to you. We've got 40 seconds left. Find a little broadness in your shoulders, lengthen your spine, push through your heels. You're already halfway there. If you need a little bit of movement, take it into a saw. Push back into your heels and rock yourself forward just a little bit. But keep that nice uplifted position of your front body. A little broadness in the shoulders. Nice steady breath. 15 seconds left. You got this. Five seconds. Awesome, and time. Bring your knees down right into a tabletop position, and we're gonna take it right into some bird dogs, but we're gonna stay with one side for 30 seconds and then other side for the other 30. So let's say right hand, left arm are gonna reach out and lift. Lower it back down and lift. So we're just gonna stay with that side. Arm and leg are gonna stay reached out, and we're just gonna find that lifting up sensation and lowering it back down. Maintaining a nice stable table here. So a little bit of a broadness in the shoulders, a little firmness in your center, finding a little work in the glutes and the whole back chain of the body. 6 more seconds here. All right, bring it in and switch. Other hand and leg is gonna reach out. Then we're gonna keep them lengthened out and just finding that lift. Lifting up, lowering with control, and your tabletop stays nice and stable. And time, nicely done. Okay, so we're gonna keep in a tabletop position, but always an option here to make your table a little bit crooked. We're gonna work one leg for 30 seconds and then the other leg for 30 seconds. So we're gonna take it into that fire hydrant, kick it out, bend and bring it back in, lower it down. Tall table or low table, totally up to you. So we got 30 seconds on this side. So we lift the knee out to the side, hinge out from the knee, pull it back in, and then lower the knee with control. 10 seconds left on this side. Lower that knee down, take it right to the other side. Pick that knee up out to the side, kick out from the knee, bend and bring it back in. Keeping your table nice and stable here, so there's not a lot of wobbling coming out of the top half of the body. We're moving mostly out of the hip. The side of the glutes are helping do all that work. And then the top of the thighs helps push that leg out and bring it back in. And time. Awesome job. Okay, grab a weight. Now the weight is just gonna be your little goal post. We're gonna sit into a 90-90 position. So swing your legs out to one side, get yourself situated first. Position your weight just so that it's right in front of your shin. You wanna keep it pretty close and we'll just kind of gauge where you're gonna place it and then you might have to rearrange. So you're gonna lean back into your sits bones. You're gonna pick the top leg up, kick it out, lower it down, and then lift back up, bend and bring it in. We got 30 seconds of work here. Pick the top leg up, kick it out, lower it down, pick it up with control, bend and bring it back in. Nice. All right, now bend and bring that leg in, leaving the weight just where it is. Now we're gonna take it into the back leg. We're gonna pick the back heel up, lower it down. So you might have to lean your hips forward a little bit. So we're just picking that back heel up. Range of motion is gonna vary. We all have different hip alignment there. So just let that heel lift, get that little squeeze in that side butt muscle. You got 15 seconds left here. And time. Awesome job. Move your weight just a little out of the way, but we will use it again. Now we're just going to swing the legs out so that we find that clam position, elbow and forearm down on the ground. And we're going to take it into reverse clams, alternating with a leg lift. So knees are going to stay together. Top heel's going to lift, lower it down, pick the whole leg up, lower it back down. Heel lifts, knees stay together, lower it down, pick the whole leg up, lower it back down. Once you've got that maneuver down, you take it at your pace. If you want more work, you're going to take that weight, load up the side of your thigh, let your hand hold just gently so that most of the work is coming out of the side of the glutes and your hand is just holding the weight in place. But if weights feel like it's not there for you today, leave that part off and just find a pace and a rhythm that feels good to you. You're already halfway there on this side. Ten seconds left. Nicely done. Lower that leg down. All right, we're going to spin the legs around to the other side to set up that 90-90. So swing your legs into your little 90-90 seat and then set your weight in front of you. That's going to be your goalpost just to find that lift up and over sensation. So you're going to pick that top leg up, straighten it out, lower it down, lift up, bend, and bring it back in with control. Take it at your pace, using your weight just as a little guidepost so you know that you're picking it up nice and high and making it over your little achievement there, just finding that nice goal there. Nice. You got 10 seconds left here. All right, now we're going to take it into that back leg. So the heel is going to lift and lower it down. You might have to lean forward a little bit to make a little space for your hips to find that maneuver. And you might find that work coming out of the side of your glutes, especially right there in that top gluteus minimus. So see if you can find that work there, lift that heel up, get that squeeze. 10 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, laying down onto your side, back to those reverse clams and the leg lift. So knees are going to be bent, elbow and forearm down, or laying totally down. That's totally up to you. But here we go. Lifting the heel up, knees stay together, and then lifting the whole top leg up. Alternating between those two moves and just finding your pace. And again, if you want to load it up, you're just going to place that weight across the outside of your thighs. Hand hold is just going to be light, so your leg does most of the heavy lifting. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Take some weights with you just so you have them handy, but we're going to come flip onto our back side. Knees are going to be bent and we're taking it into some hip bridges. Option to load your hip bridges if you want to. If you're feeling that work this morning, you're going to take your weights, lay them right across your hip points. Hands are just going to gently hold the weights, feet about hip width distance apart, toes and knees in line. Lift your hips up and squeeze, lower back down with control. If using the weights doesn't feel like it's right for you this morning, leave that part off and just let your hands rest on your sides. And we want to find that work coming out of the butt and the backs of the thighs. Lifting up, find that little squeeze at the top, lower back down with control. Think about knees lengthening towards the toes so we find some good length through the tops of the thighs and then bring it back down. 20 seconds left. And time. Keep that bent knee position right into some crunches here. So hands behind the head. Give a little support to the back of the skull. Elbows stay wide. We're going to pull the abdominal muscles down towards the spine. Lift the chest and chin. Get that little squeeze at the top. Lower back down with control. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to take these crunches at your pace. We're basically just contracting the abdominal muscles, so it doesn't have to be super fancy. But if you like paying attention to the maneuver, you pull the abdominal muscles down towards the spine, lift the chest and chin, squeeze at the top, lower back down. Keep a little space in the front of your neck and your throat, a little looseness in your hand hold to the back of the head so you're not yanking against your neck. And if you like connecting breath and movement, you're going to exhale on the efforts. You're going to exhale to lift, inhale to lower back down. And time. Awesome job. Lower your head down right into some butterfly bridges. So soles of the feet together, knees are going to come out to the left and to the right. Get yourself situated. Tailbone should feel comfortable. Elbows down to the ground. So we use our elbows for a little leverage. And away we go. We're just going to press between the feet, lift and squeeze the glutes, lower back down with control. Once you've got that maneuver, take it at your pace, as fast or as slow as you like. But see if you can find an evenness on the lift. So if it feels like your right hip drives you up a little faster or your left, see if you can even that out. So both hips lift at the same time and lower back down with control. Press between your feet. Elbows give you that little bit of leverage. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. And time. Lower your butt down, but keep that butterfly position with the legs. Arms are going to reach out straight from the chest, and we're going to take it into some crunches here. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to curl up, reaching through the fingertips, and then lowering back down with control. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You take it at your pace. Exhale as you lift. Inhale to lower down. And then just take a little peek at your abdominal muscles as you lift up. If your belly's doming up, if it's creating that little triangle, slow it down, pull the belly button down before you lift up. Find that little lift and squeeze. Keep engaging those abdominal muscles down towards the spine. Lower it with control. And time. Nicely done. Lower yourself down. Pull those knees together. Bring them up into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. And then we're going to set the feet down in that bent knee position. Grab your weights. And we're going to take it into chest press. So weights are going to be loaded up at the shoulders, elbows nice and wide, pressing up towards the ceiling, pulling the elbows wide, lowering with control. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to take it at your pace. If you're using heavier weights, slow it down just to make sure you've got your form. You're not puffing up the chest or ribs are lifting up off the ground. If you're puffing up the chest or ribs are lifting up, you might want to lower your weights a little bit. But if all is feeling good and you've got light weights and everything feels like it's nice and stable, then fire away. Take it at a nice rapid pace and get a bunch of reps in. And time. Awesome job. Now we're going to keep those weights, take it right into some skull crushers. So we're going to reach the arms straight out from the chest. Palms are going to face in towards each other. We're going to bend the elbows. Weights are going to come right alongside your head and then press right back up towards the ceiling. Take the time to find that nice, good, even stance with the arms so that you're not banging against your head with your weights. And then once you've got it, fire away, especially if you're using lighter weights. Take a couple of extra at a faster pace just so you can really burn out the back of the triceps. But if you're having anything going on in the elbow joint, if you're having anything going on in the shoulder joint, and it feels more beneficial to keep it slow and steady, do the version that you think will work best for you this morning. And watch those elbows. We want to keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, and we just hinge from the elbow joint, lowering the weights down towards the head and then pushing them right back up. Nicely done. That's time. Okay, but we're going to stick with those weights for one more minute and take it into some chest flies. So palms facing each other, a little micro bend in the elbows, open your arms out nice and wide, pull the weights back in, maintaining that nice little soft bend in the elbows. So your arms and your elbows feel happy. And we're trying to find some work coming out of the chest and the armpit chest muscles. So see if you can tune in there, finding that work. And then once you've got it, especially if you're using those lighter weights, go a little bit faster, find that rapid pace, but make sure you're maintaining your form. So belly is firm, legs are steady, and most of the work is coming right out of the arms, the shoulders, and you're feeling that squeeze in the armpit chest muscles. And time. Nicely done. Okay, set your weights off to the side. We're taking it right into some roll-ups here. So you're going to step your feet nice and long to the end of your mat. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to reach the fingertips up, curl up the head, neck, and chest, push through the heels, reach past your toes, and then pull it back. Tailbone curls under, roll your spine down, arms reach up and overhead. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to take this at your pace. Exhaling to roll up, reaching past your toes if you can, and then curling your way back down. If you need to, bend your knees so you can anchor into your feet, roll up with control, and then roll yourself back. As you roll down, you can stretch the legs long, but if it feels like a better anchor of support to keep the knees bent, do the version that feels the best to you. And time. Awesome job. Come up to a seated position. And now we're going to take it into a nice low squat. So step your feet nice and wide, heft your butt up. Hands are going to stay on the ground for a second just so you find that low squatting position. And then we're going to lift the butt up, lower your butt down, stay low, pick your hands up. Hands touch the ground, lift your butt up, lower your butt back down, stay low, hands lift up off the ground. We want to think about Straightening legs only as much as feels good. It does not have to be extreme. And then keep your legs engaged as you lift your arms away from the floor, finding a little work in the knees, the hips, the inner thighs. Nice. So there's a little external rotation in the feet. Knees are turned out slightly, so we make plenty of space for the butt to sink low. Lift the hands up, lower the hands down, and then lift your butt up. You got it. 20 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Come all the way up to standing. Woo! Shake your legs out, and we're going to step them nice and wide. So we find that nice wide stance. Take a little external rotation with the feet. Start with a little bend in the knees side to side. See how that feels. Cool. And then we're going to take it into our side lunges. Touch to the inside of the foot, back to center, over to the other side. So think of this as a little bit of a cool down and a stretch. So you might find a little stretch in the inner thigh of the leg that's extended out. Bring it back to center, over to the other side. Nice work. You're already halfway there. And time. Keep that wide position with your legs. Take it into a little forward fold. So just hinge from your waist. Let your hands find the floor. Bend your knees just as much as feels good. And then see if you can just let your head hang heavy here for a second. Staying nice and low, walk your hands over toward your right foot. Let your nose soften toward your knee. Walk it through center over toward your other foot and let your nose soften toward your knee. Nice. Bring it back through center. Bend your knees. Toe heel your feet in. So they're about hip or shoulder width distance apart. And then bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders down and back. Take your left hand, reach up, pat yourself on the back, and then grab that elbow. Pull it in just a little bit. So you find maybe a little stretch through the tricep. And then just see if you can firm up your belly, pull your ribs in towards each other. Take a nice big breath. And then if it feels good, lean away from that side, like you're pulling the elbow away from the hip. Beautiful. Bring it back in, release that elbow, lower your arms, roll your shoulders out. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So pat yourself on the back. And then if it feels good, you're going to catch that elbow, get that little stretch in the tricep. And then once you've got your handhold arranged, pull your abdominal muscles in, ribs are drawing in towards each other, nice stable hip bones. And then if all of that feels good, lean away from your hip. Nice. When you're ready, nice and easy, lift it back up. Let that elbow go, float your arms down, give them a good shrug. We're going to take both hands behind the back, get that nice little interlace of the fingers, draw the knuckles down, draw the arms slightly away from the back side of the body, and then lift your chin up towards the sky. Nice. And then when you're ready, unlace those fingers, take a nice big breath, reach up and overhead, bend your knees a lot, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground, reaching towards your toes. Cool. And then bend your knees a whole lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up to standing. Nice work today. Beautiful work in your hips. Grab your tennis ball if you're sticking around. You guys are amazing.